shadows in the spotlight. Olivia Chen adjusted her camera lens, capturing the weathered lines on the old fisherman's face at the harbor. This was her element, finding beauty in authenticity, in stories etched into skin and landscape. At 32, she had built a modest but growing reputation for her intimate photographic portraits of everyday people. "Perfect," she whispered, reviewing the image. The morning light caught the silver in the man's beard, illuminating decades of life lived against the elements. These were the moments that fueled her passion. Her phone buzzed with a notification. "Nathan, again? We'll be late tonight. Don't wait up, the 5th time this month." Olivia sighed, tucking the device away. When she had married Nathan Reed 3 years ago, she had believed in their complementary differences, her artistic soul balancing his structured ambition. Now those differences felt like a widening chasm. Nathan's Tesla purred to a stop outside Metaverse Technologies' gleaming headquarters. At 35, he had climbed rapidly through the ranks to become Vice President of Strategic Partnerships, a position that demanded not just his technical brilliance, but also a certain image. He straightened his custom-tailored jacket and checked his reflection in the rearview mirror. "You're looking particularly handsome today," came a smooth voice from the passenger seat. Vanessa Taylor, 29, his executive assistant, gave him an appreciative smile that lingered just a beat too long. Her perfectly manicured nails rested briefly on his sleeve. "Big meeting today?" "Need to look the part," Nathan replied, allowing himself a small smile. Vanessa understood this world, the importance of appearance, connections, the subtle power plays over cocktails and handshakes. Unlike Olivia, who showed up to his last company function in vintage clothes and spent the evening discussing sustainable architecture with the janitor rather than networking with the CEO. "The board members are already impressed with your quarterly presentation," Vanessa said. "Trust me, you're becoming exactly who they want as the face of this company." The face of the company. The words echoed pleasantly in Nathan's mind as they walked into the building together. He had come so far from his middle-class upbringing in suburban Detroit. Each calculated step had brought him closer to the life he had always envisioned. Respect, influence, success. Later that evening, Nathan and Vanessa sat in a dimly lit upscale restaurant, celebration champagne between them. "To closing the Singapore deal," Vanessa toasted, her lips curving into a smile that made Nathan momentarily forget the ring on his finger. "I couldn't have done it without you," he admitted. The truth was, Vanessa had become indispensable, professionally and increasingly personally. She laughed at the right moments, knew exactly which executives needed what kind of attention, and made him feel like the successful man he had always aspired to be. "Have you told Olivia about the promotion yet?" she asked, her voice softening with something that wasn't quite concern. Nathan swirled his champagne. "Not yet. She's been busy with some gallery showing or something." He didn't mention the growing distance, how conversations with his wife had become perfunctory exchanges, how her artistic pursuits seemed increasingly irrelevant to his world. Across town, Olivia sat alone at their dining table, a single candle burning on what should have been their anniversary dinner. The text message glowed on her phone screen. Something came up. "Sorry." She blew out the candle, decision forming in her eyes. Whatever was happening to her marriage, it was time to shine light into the shadows. The invitation, the sleek cream envelope, arrived on a Tuesday morning, embossed with the silver logo of the World Tech Innovation Summit. Nathan held it reverently, running his thumb over the raised lettering. This wasn't just any industry event. It was the gathering of tech visionaries, venture capitalists, and cultural influencers that could cement his position in Silicon Valley's elite circles. "You've been selected to receive the Emerging Technology Leadership Award," he read aloud to Vanessa in his office, unable to keep the pride from his voice. "Black tie gala at the Presidio Dome, November 12th. "Nathan, this is huge!" Vanessa's eyes lit up as she took the invitation. "This is exactly what we've been working toward." "The board will be thrilled. Recognition like this puts Metaverse Technologies on the map." +1, Nathan noted, his mind already made up. Olivia would be uncomfortable, out of place. She'd probably wear something authentically vintage, and talk about her documentary project on homeless artists. The thought made him wince. "I could help you prepare your acceptance speech," Vanessa offered, her hand lightly touching his. "We could work on it over dinner this weekend." Nathan nodded, already imagining Vanessa on his arm at the gala, her sophistication, her understanding of his world. That would be perfect. Meanwhile, across the city in a sunlit studio, Olivia was surrounded by her photographs spread across the floor. Gallery owner Marcus Reeves circled thoughtfully among them. "These are extraordinary, Olivia. The way you've captured humanity in these faces." He stopped at a particularly striking image of an elderly woman laughing, her wrinkles forming a map of a life fully lived. "There's something almost sacred in your perspective." Olivia smiled, grateful for his understanding. "They're stories, not just faces. Everyone deserves to be truly seen," Marcus nodded. "Which is why I'm recommending you for the Arts and Innovation Fellowship at the summit next month. They're featuring photographers who use their medium to bridge social divides." "The Tech Summit? That's Nathan's world, not mine. Not anymore. Tech is merging with every field, including art. Your work deserves this platform." Marcus handed her an envelope identical to the one sitting on Nathan's desk. "Consider it. The gala event includes an exhibition of the fellows' work." That evening, Olivia placed the invitation on the kitchen counter where Nathan would see it. They had barely spoken all week, ships passing in their own home. She waited until nearly midnight, but when Nathan still hadn't returned, she finally went to bed alone. Nathan arrived home after 1 a.m., loosening his tie as he entered. His eyes caught the envelope on the counter, and for a moment, confusion crossed his face. Opening it, he read the contents with growing disbelief. Olivia, recognized by the same prestigious event? His wife, whose work he had dismissed as a hobby, being honored alongside him. He placed the invitation back exactly as he'd found it. Something uncomfortable twisted in his stomach. Not pride in his wife's achievement, but fear. Fear that the worlds he had so carefully separated were about to collide. The next morning, he left before Olivia woke. His text message was brief. "Congratulations on your invitation. I have an important client dinner that night, so I'll meet you there." It was the first outright lie he had told her, and it slipped out with disturbing ease. Unexpected revelations. The Presidio Dome glittered against the night sky, its glass panels reflecting thousands of tiny lights that seemed to mirror the stars above. Vanessa stepped out of the limousine in a shimmering silver gown that caught every camera flash. Nathan followed in his perfectly tailored tuxedo, his hand resting possessively on the small of her back. "Remember, the CEO of Nexus Ventures wants to discuss potential collaboration," Vanessa whispered as they ascended the grand staircase. "And the tech editor from Wired is covering the event. Make sure you mention our quantum security protocols." Nathan nodded, scanning the crowd for familiar faces and potential connections. This was his element, a chess game of handshakes and strategic conversation. With Vanessa by his side, navigating the social landscape felt effortless. "Nathan Reed!" A board member approached, champagne in hand. "The man of the hour. And who is this lovely woman?" "This is Vanessa Taylor, my executive partner," Nathan replied smoothly, avoiding the more accurate title of assistant. "She's been instrumental in our recent successes." If the board member noticed the absence of a wedding ring reference, he didn't show it. Charmed. "You make a striking couple." The comment sent a pleasant thrill through Nathan. This was how things should be, simple, advantageous, aligned with his ambitions. Across the dome, in the exhibition wing, Olivia adjusted the lighting on her installation. Her photographs, enlarged, raw, powerful, lined the curved wall. They told stories of human dignity across social divides. The tech billionaire and the janitor who cleaned his office, both captured with the same compassionate eye. The venture capitalist and the homeless veteran, their expressions mirroring each other in unexpected ways. "Your work is stunning," said a woman in her 60s, dressed in an elegant but understated black dress. "I'm Elaine Mercer, head of the fellowship committee." "Thank you for this opportunity," Olivia replied. Suddenly conscious of her own attire, a vintage 1950s emerald green gown that had cost a fraction of what most women here were wearing, but which complemented her warm brown skin perfectly. The opportunity is ours. Your perspective is exactly what this industry needs, a reminder of our shared humanity. Elaine gestured to a small crowd forming near the installation. Several journalists would like to interview you about your series. Are you ready? Olivia took a deep breath. Yes. Meanwhile, Nathan was at the bar when he overheard a conversation that made his blood freeze. Have you seen the photography exhibition? The artist who captured those tech executives in such a vulnerable light. Olivia Chen. Brilliant work. I heard she's married to one of the executives being honored tonight. Talk about a power couple. Nathan's glass nearly slipped from his hand. He hadn't expected Olivia to draw attention. She was supposed to be in her own artistic corner of the event, not becoming a focal point, and certainly not being discussed as his equal. The announcer's voice came over the speaker system. Ladies and gentlemen, please proceed to the main hall for the awards presentation, beginning with the Arts and Innovation Fellows. Nathan watched in stunned silence as the crowd began migrating toward the main hall, toward Olivia. His carefully separated worlds were about to collide spectacularly. Vanessa appeared at his side, her face questioning as she noted his sudden tension. Is everything all right? My wife is here, he managed, his voice tight. Vanessa's expression hardened slightly. I thought you said she couldn't make it. Change of plans. Nathan downed his drink. She's one of the honored artists. As they entered the main hall, Nathan's eyes immediately found Olivia on the stage. But this wasn't the Olivia he had been dismissing for months. This was a woman radiating quiet confidence, her photographs projected behind her, her words captivating the audience. This was Olivia Chen seeing and being seen, and Nathan Reed had never felt more invisible. Confrontation and clarity. The applause following Olivia's presentation echoed through the dome as she descended from the stage. Several attendees approached her immediately, business cards extended, praise flowing freely. Nathan watched from a distance, Vanessa's hand still possessively intertwined with his. She's quite talented, Vanessa remarked with forced casualness. You never mentioned your wife was one of the featured artists. I didn't know, Nathan admitted, the words bitter on his tongue. He couldn't take his eyes off Olivia, the way she moved with newfound assurance, the genuine warmth in her smile as she discussed her work with a renowned gallery owner. Nathan Reed, a journalist, appeared before them, notepad in hand. I'd love a quick comment about your wife's remarkable exhibition. Her juxtaposition of tech elites with everyday workers is generating significant buzz. How does it feel to be married to tonight's artistic revelation? Vanessa's fingers tensed against his. Nathan fumbled for words, his carefully constructed narrative crumbling. Excuse me, he broke away, leaving Vanessa and the confused journalist behind. He needed air. The balcony offered momentary escape, the San Francisco skyline glittering below like a circuit board come to life. But solitude was brief. I thought that was you. Olivia's voice carried on the evening breeze. She stepped onto the balcony, her emerald dress catching the light. Congratulations on your award. You too. Nathan turned to face her, really seeing her for the first time in months. Your exhibition is impressive. You haven't even seen it yet, she replied softly. No accusation in her tone, just a simple statement of fact. The truth hung between them, an indictment of his neglect. Olivia! Nathan! There you are! Vanessa's voice cut through the moment as she stepped onto the balcony. She stopped short at the sight of Olivia, a flicker of recognition and challenge crossing her face. You must be Mrs. Reed. I'm Vanessa Taylor, Nathan's executive partner. The way she said partner left little ambiguity. Olivia's eyes moved from Vanessa's possessive stance to Nathan's guilty expression, understanding dawning in her gaze. I see. Her voice was quiet but steady. That explains a lot. Olivia, it's not what you... Nathan began, but the excuse died on his lips. It was exactly what she thought. Nathan has been under tremendous pressure, Vanessa interjected smoothly. Sometimes we find understanding in unexpected places. Indeed we do, Olivia agreed, her dignity intact despite the pain visible in her eyes. And sometimes we discover our own worth in unexpected moments. The balcony door opened again as Elaine Mercer and several board members stepped out. Ah, there's our artistic star. And Nathan Reed, perfect timing. We were just discussing the possibility of featuring Ms. Chen's work in our company headquarters. Her perspective on humanizing technology is exactly the message we want to convey. The irony wasn't lost on anyone present. Vanessa's smile froze as she realized the shifting dynamics. Actually, Olivia said, her voice finding new strength, I believe Nathan and I need to have a private conversation. If you'll excuse us. The group retreated tactfully, leaving the three of them alone once more. Vanessa made no move to leave. You too, Ms. Taylor, Olivia added pointedly. After a moment of tense silence, Vanessa departed with a backward glance at Nathan. He remained rooted in place, his carefully constructed world collapsing around him. How long? Olivia asked simply. 3 months, Nathan admitted, shame coloring his voice. Olivia, I never meant to hurt me, to lie, to hide me away because you were ashamed of who I am. Her voice never raised, yet each word landed with precision. The saddest part is that I started believing I wasn't enough. Until tonight. What changed tonight? He asked, genuinely curious despite his guilt. Olivia looked out over the city lights. I remembered who I am when I'm not trying to fit into your world. I remembered that my perspective has value, even if you couldn't see it. She turned back to him, eyes clear. The question is, what changes for you tonight, Nathan? He had no answer, as the evening's accolades suddenly felt hollow in the face of his crumbling integrity. New Beginnings morning light streamed through the windows of the hotel suite where Olivia had spent the night. Her phone displayed dozens of notifications, interview requests, exhibition opportunities, and a particularly interesting email from Elaine Mercer about a permanent installation at the Museum of Modern Technology. The events of the previous evening had changed everything professionally, even as her personal life lay in pieces. A knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. Nathan stood in the hallway, still in his rumpled tuxedo shirt from the night before, eyes red-rimmed from a sleepless night. Can we talk? He asked, his usual confidence nowhere to be found. Olivia stepped aside to let him enter. The silence between them was heavy with unspoken truths and painful realizations. I spent the night thinking about what you asked, Nathan finally said, pacing by the window. About what changed for me. He stopped, turning to face her. I realized I've been living someone else's version of success. Chasing approval from people who would discard me the moment I stopped being useful. And was it worth it? Olivia asked quietly. Was it worth us? Nathan shook his head, regret etched in every line of his face. I watched you on that stage last night, completely in your element, touching people with your art in ways I never could with all my business deals and tech innovations. You were magnificent, Olivia, and I was a fool. Yes, she agreed simply. You were. A small, surprised laugh escaped him. That's one thing I've always loved about you. Your honesty. Except you didn't love it, Nathan. You tried to hide it away. You tried to hide me away. Nathan sank into a chair, the truth of her words undeniable. After you left last night, the board chairman took me aside. He told me they were reconsidering my award. Because of us? Olivia asked, surprised. Because of me. Because integrity matters in leadership. Because how I treated you revealed more about my character than any business success ever could. Nathan looked up at her, vulnerability replacing his usual mask of confidence. I declined the award myself. It felt like the first honest thing I've done in months. Olivia sat across from him, studying the man she had married, seeing both his flaws and his potential with the same clear-eyed perspective she brought to her photography. What about Vanessa? Over. Though I suspect she already has her sights set on the next rising executive. Nathan leaned forward, elbows on his knees. I don't expect you to forgive me, Olivia, but I need you to know I finally see you. All of you. And you're extraordinary. Olivia felt tears, threatening, but held them back. Seeing isn't enough, Nathan. Not anymore. He nodded slowly. I know. That's why I've made a decision. I'm stepping down from my position. What? This was unexpected. Nathan's career had always been his priority. I've been offered a role leading a nonprofit tech initiative, bringing technology education to underserved communities. Less prestige, less money, but he paused. More purpose, the kind of purpose I've watched you pursue without compromise. For the first time since entering, Olivia really looked at him, not the man who had betrayed her, but the man who might still find his way back to his better self. That sounds like something worthwhile. It is. Nathan stood, maintaining a respectful distance. I don't expect this changes anything between us. I just wanted you to know that you changed something in me, even when I was too blind to appreciate you. Olivia rose as well, moving toward the door. I can't make any promises, Nathan. I need time. I understand. He reached for the door but paused. Your exhibition at the gala, I'd like to really see it, if that's okay. To understand your perspective the way I should have all along. A small smile touched Olivia's lips. The exhibition runs for 3 months. That should give you enough time to truly see it. She opened the door, and perhaps enough time for me to decide if I want to be seen by you again. Nathan nodded, understanding the gift of possibility she was offering. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, but a chance. A chance he hadn't earned, but would work to deserve. As he left, Olivia turned back to the notifications on her phone and the new life unfolding before her. Whatever happened with Nathan, she had reclaimed herself. Her art would continue to bridge worlds, to reveal humanity in unexpected places, and she would move forward, eyes open, heart guarded but not closed, into whatever came next. The dawn light caught her wedding ring as she hesitated, then left it on. Not as a commitment, but as a reminder that endings could sometimes be beginnings in disguise.